Welcome to the Network Build Grow podcast, the show where business owners, entrepreneurs, and professionals share their stories, lessons learned, and powerful strategies for building relationships and growing their circle of influence. With Melissa Taylor, your host, each week we'll bring you actionable insights to help you build a better network and a better business. Let's dive in.
Oh, we are here with Jimmy, Mr. JJ. How are you?
Hey, doing very well. Thank you for having me, and good day to you.
Yeah, thank you so much. So we recently actually connected about, I think it was back in December.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so it hasn't been long because this is now, this February at the time of this recording. So just a couple of months. And I feel like I've known you for like a long time.
Hey, I appreciate that because I feel the same way.
Yeah.
I believe that connection is what brought us here.
Yes, I believe it is. So let's first dive into, you are the vice president of Bergman Brothers Staffing. So tell our audience a little bit about what you guys do.
Sure. I am, as you said, vice president of Bergman Brothers. We are a national staffing agency. So we staff not only throughout America, but we also staff a lot of Latin America as well. Our founder, Gilberto Bergman, in 2001. We've been going nationally since about 2006.
Okay.
And the foundation of that up until about 6 years ago was environmental. It started out just simply with asbestos removal and demolitions, and that turned into a positive aspect of where we are GSA-certified. And what that is just a government standard where we have authority to have all work contracts on any military base in the country. That worked out so well that we were able to find such dependable people, embedded workers. The same industries that are used in the civilian world are the same industries that apply in our government. So it really made a great measure to step forward in expansion in several other divisions. And that division included, of course, commercial construction, industrial construction, residential construction. That led into direct placement, which just meant for any employee of a executive or management level that is seeking employment or a change of employment, where we could help them out as well because the tools we were already using implemented very well seamlessly. And now at this point in time, we are heavy in the construction field as far as heavy equipment operators, machine programmers, skilled tradesmen like carpenters, electricians, plumbers, of course, then just regular manpower. And we do that from a temporary standpoint, which just means for a short-term project. We'll do that for a temp to permanent position, which just means that the employees that are there after 6 months or a certain amount of hours, they become the employer's employee. Till that time, we carry all the risk. We carry the workman's comp for that employee. We carry the liability insurance. We handle the payroll services.
Wow, it's a lot. Yeah.
We do the hiring and firing. We make it, the goal is just to make it where the business owner can focus on the business, the growth. Sometimes that involves the sales. So we're kind of think of us as an extension of of your HR program, so to speak. And
there are some businesses that don't have an HR department. So that's where you can really, really come in and help those businesses out.
Yes, ma'am. And a lot of that applies, especially when you're dealing with general contractors. It comes in heavy. We are their HR pretty much in every way. You're exactly right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that is a lot. You got a lot going on.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Now, how often do you go down or get to go? I shouldn't say have to get to go into the Latin countries where you guys do some staffing.
Yes, ma'am. I'm so happy you asked about that because I'm due for my next flight in about 2 months. I'll be going out to Managua, Nicaragua. That's where we have our communication center. We are the only staffing agency in the country with a 7-day communication center, meaning that if most times you communicate with the staffing agency on a Sunday or 7-day, it's just someone kind of going the extra mile, with that phone in their pocket. However, we have a business set up and we have employees that report to work on Sundays for that reason, just to help the no fails on Monday.
That's
It
so,
is.
yeah, the no fails. That's wonderful.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, that is so important, especially in the construction industry. You don't want delays because of
No,
staffing issues.
not at all. Not at all. And
Mhm.
certification issues. A lot of
Oh, yes.
times,
Mhm.
there's, you don't want to be, we prevent from having a guy show up and he needs his forklift certification, but it's expired, or,
Yeah.
he shows up with his I-9 paperwork and his asbestos license on the military base and can't work because, there's a hang up or clearance. So all those things get cleared up to make sure for a better chance at a better week.
Yeah, gotta love that red tape.
Yes, ma'am. It's so exciting.
All that lovely paperwork. That's great. So tell me a little bit about how you got involved because you're the vice president. So
Mhm.
you're not the founder, like you
That's
said.
right.
How did you get involved with this business?
Yes, ma'am. That's a great question. It's kind of in a divine measure at this point for myself and the founder. He's also a friend of mine. I've always been self-employed, and that's always been to take care of my family or small
Mhm,
business owner.
mhm,
And so, with that in mind, from 2006, I sold my first business and was just looking for opportunity of what the next step was. And I ended up meeting Hilberto Bergman, and I used to work for the company as just a recruiter and a sales guy from 2006 to 2008. 2008, you'll remember, the economy kind of fell out from the housing
mhm,
side of it, and businesses. And so
mhm.
obviously the first thing businesses cut were staffing,
Yeah.
so that changed the dynamic. We were not as prominent as we are now. So we were a lot smaller company. I'd say back then it was, right at about 1 million to $2 million back then, and it was a struggle in 2006, 2008, getting there in growth. Compared to now, it's kind of come full circle. I've been here just a little bit over a year in revamping and helping diversify the divisions. And now I walked back into a company and an opportunity where he's doing about 15 to $20 million a year. So
Great.
I came aboard because his father has been heavily on the Nicaraguan consulate and from a political standpoint for many
Mhm,
years. And he's
mhm,
now aging out as far as I believe it's 80. And he wanted to spend more time, Gilbert, the owner, wanted to
mhm,
spend more time with his family. So he actually dwells in Managua, Nicaragua. He did not want to sell the business. He
mhm.
needed someone at a time that I also was open to opportunity. And
Great.
I ended up here just off a general conversation. And for we were negotiating the contract. And here I
Yeah.
am overseeing. We have a location in Orlando, Florida. We have one in Virginia. And then, of course, the location in Managua, Nicaragua as well that helps staff. So fun time.
Yeah. That's amazing. Of course, you're in Charlotte.
Yes, ma'am. Our
Yeah.
headquarters is in Charlotte, which is
Headquarters
where
in
it was
Charlotte.
founded. Yes, ma'am.
That's where it was founded. Okay, great. If you network for your business, you already know follow up is everything when it comes to growing relationships and driving success. But here's the thing most of us want to follow up well, we just get stuck. Staying consistent, keeping it personal, making it stand out, it's hard. That's why I use Net Effect IO. It makes follow up simple, cuts through all the noise, and helps me stay on top of every relationship without dropping the ball. I never miss a follow up, and honestly, my network wouldn't be the same without it. So check it out, neteffect.io. And right now, you can use promo code NBG50 for 50% off of your first month. Neteffect.io, your secret weapon to unforgettable follow up. So I would say networking played a huge part in the position that you have now because it was a social network, so to speak, because he was a friend, but that definitely played a part.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It played a heavy part. And one of the things you mentioned about networking, and I love, I always speak on nurturing relationships.
Hmm.
That relationship was nurtured because we never stopped talking. He and I actually, he had his first child. I had my fifth child with my wife. So yeah, with her two tied, currently tied. So that always set a great memory for he and I. And we always did business together, always kept in touch and had great conversation. So networking played a heavy part in the position of where I'm at now.
Yeah. Now, how much does networking play a part in the actual business, in the business development of Bergman Brothers?
Yes, ma'am. It plays 100% in my position. That is what I'm here in that purpose, giving us a stronger stance to be more visible, i.e., here on podcast and social media, and then more, of course, more visible in the city where we're at, most locally. It's funny because the name that we have outside of Charlotte in North Carolina is a substantial difference versus in North Carolina. And so,
Huh.
me being here, I network daily, Melissa. I'm a member of several networking groups, some of them mastermind groups. Some of those are more short and impactful. And then some are just what I call really masked down service and improvement. And you definitely qualify in there. There's very few. Like that with Network Business Grow. And I
Yeah.
know because I've visited many and a member of quite a few.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you also a member of some like associations or industry specific kind of groups? Do you also network within kind of the industry that you're in?
Yes, ma'am, for sure. The association, the Charlotte Chamber, has been pretty good to me. I should say
Hmm.
very good in a short amount of time. Also, I've been introduced to ING,
Hmm.
which
Hmm.
I'm definitely looking forward to getting to know. And another one would be Women in Manufacturing, which
Hmm.
is kind of becoming a little bit of an interest. However,
Yeah.
my dailies consist of course, Network Business Grow as a top priority in many phases. I'm also a member of the Charlotte 12, which is a mastermind group that meets at the
Hmm.
Carmel Country Club once a
Yep.
month, among other
Hmm.
things. And then also with Charlotte Referral Group, I'm also a member.
Hmm. Yep. Great group. Hmm.
With the chamber, I just volunteered to be. I'm now officially on the wellness committee, so
Oh,
getting more
great.
involved there. Yes, doing that as well, and also Block Business Leaders
Hmm.
of Charlotte.
Hmm.
Yes, that would be the Burkdale branch that I'm currently in transition. Well, application on. I guess on file, but I've been
The
busy there.
application on file.
Yeah, yeah, I submitted it. I finally submitted. So
That's
yes, ma'am.
great.
So networking is a vital part of my daily duties and
Yeah.
responsibilities.
So for people who are just getting into the networking kind of scene and they're realizing that they need to network more, what is something that some advice that you can give them on kind of how to get their feet wet or how to get more out of it when they go?
Yes, ma'am. I would say one is be yourself. There's no need to have doubt or nervousness, or you're already there. You're you, and if it doesn't get done by you, it will not get done. So stepping outside of your comfort zone in a networking event is when your mind has a thought or something that really strikes you when you hear it. Don't hesitate. Speak up. Get to know. Ask questions. Go there with a goal in mind. I'd say attend every event with some kind of purpose, because otherwise you can get caught up in just the energy of it all. And for meeting wonderful people, and for you know it, you're walking out the door and you don't have any organization or contact enough to keep up. I learned a great tip from you in one of our events, just as far as organizing the context, excuse me, the contacts in our CRM system.
Hmm.
Which I was already doing so, but there were some highlighted things that have definitely helped me that you shared. And one of those would be definitely, as soon as you leave the meeting, writing on the card will remind you of that person, because it does give a personal feel when you can send an email and be able to pull from a conversation that was had, or maybe an outfit someone had on that you appreciated, or maybe it just struck interest from a business perspective. But
Hmm.
all those things help. I say get involved. If you don't get involved, you will be in the same shell or mindset that you had prior to even starting the event, where you
Yep.
didn't have all the ideas. So definitely get involved without hesitation, and you'd be surprised how many people want to help you get involved and be
Hmm.
successful.
Hmm. Yeah. And I always tell people, you have to go more than once to really get a feel for the group. You can't go once and assume it's not for you. You do have to go 3 or 4 times. And then once you're involved, like you said, get involved. Like you're now on the wellness committee at the chamber. Like you actually take a leadership position, even a small one, because it gives you more visibility within the group.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
whole reason we're there is, granted, it's great
Hmm.
for relationships, it's great for personal growth, but the main reason we are there is for business. And
Yeah.
that business comes through a support system. It's not just
Yep.
walking in the doors and seeing where I can scavenge accounts. That's not how it works at all. Business comes to me through these networking events, and I couldn't make it up sometimes how it happens, and it has nothing to do with me standing there talking to someone or asking for business. It's only because of the relationship I built, and they thought of me and
Yeah.
put me in contact with someone.
Yeah. I was recently at I don't know, like a happy hour kind of one, where, you
Right.
meet like at a bar, and those aren't my favorite because, it's loud and noisy and I'm getting
All
older,
right.
I guess. But there was a lady there and she actually literally was walking around with a stack of business cards in her hand. And instead of shaking your hand, she was handing you a business card before she even asked your name. And I was
Mm.
like, so like, how do you feel about that?
Personally, and I speak from experience because I too have made that error. What it does is it's not a warm introduction.
Yeah.
It's hard to ask someone for business when they don't know you or anything about you. Because once we refer someone or give a name to someone, it's not just connecting in business. I'm also putting my own reputation out there and my own judgment, my own little circle. So I'm
Hmm.
very particular with the names and the people that I refer because I want to make sure that not only it is a good experience, but I can trust the person that sharing and reconnecting them to. I could trust them to do the job just like I would,
Yes.
and
Yes.
that's
Hmm.
a big thing. But
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Hmm.
yeah, that's not the first thing. Sometimes I've had connections and conversations, and I never exchange a card. I
Yep.
never, and somehow we'll either see each other at another event because we're both being diligent,
Hmm.
or something will come up, and the next time I see them, they will have remembered our conversation and appreciated it.
Hmm.
Or the next conversation, or the next time I see them, that's when the interaction warrants a business card or a connection,
Yeah.
because everybody you meet is not going to be a great business partner
Right. Exactly.
or
Exactly.
business fit, should I say.
A business fit. Yeah. No, not everybody is. Everybody a lot of people could be, but you just don't know when you first meet them. Like that first interaction, there's just no way to know in that first.
Right.
I run a networking group.
Right.
And so people assume I know everybody. And and so I get requests weekly. I get requests from people. Hey, can you connect me to this person? Can you connect me to that person? Do you have a referral for me? And my standard answer for people that I don't know is, well, why do you want to get connected to them? And I need to have a conversation with you first to make sure that it's a good connection before I open up my Rolodex, so to speak. There's my age coming out. Because it's my reputation on the line,
Yes,
so
ma'am.
I totally agree with you on that. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Let's do some rapid fire questions. So
Let's do it.
first
Let's
thing
do
that
it.
comes, let's do it.
All right.
First thing that comes to your mind. You ready for
Okay.
this?
Let's go.
All right. Okay. What is one common mistake people make when they're out networking?
Put out their business card first before introducing themselves.
Okay. Other than that, because we've already talked about that one.
Okay. Okay. Uh, the other common thing is not to immediately follow up, not to
Okay.
immediately acknowledge the work that you've put in. And that follow up isn't necessarily to gain business. That follow up is to be true to yourself and your personal goals and the commitment to self and be able to take action on the events that happen during your day.
Oh, I love the way you just put that. That's great. Okay, next rapid fire question.
Okay.
How do you turn a casual connection? So maybe you've met them a couple of times casually at an event, and you really feel like you want to turn this into more of a meaningful connection or a meaningful relationship. How do you make that transition?
I guess the first thing is action because I'm a big believer in action speaking louder than words. That's the first form of communication. It's just your actions. The second step with that, whatever type of meaningful relationship or whatever I'm going to build, I'll share with that person and be very transparent. Be
Mhm.
very, very transparent on my intention or what I see or the vision or whatever that may be, so they can understand exactly my intentions, where I'm coming from, and we can build from there. And that way, whatever the universe has in store and meant to be, it will happen. But definitely take initiative and action. Don't be afraid to speak up.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to say, "Hey, JJ, I feel like we could partner in this way." If
Yes,
you
ma'am.
want to, if you want to explore that, let's have a conversation. Just be upfront with it.
Love that. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I love that too. Okay, last one. Ready? What's your number one tip for how to start a conversation with someone at a networking event other than, so what do you do?
Well, I found one to be very easy because in dealing with people, one thing in building relationships and, of course, monitoring and managing employees, people always love to talk about themselves. So it's very easy to start out with a question. So, are you from Charlotte? Because most people are not from Charlotte.
Yeah.
So it's going to open the door of where they came from. And then you can piggyback that and what brought them here. And if what brought them here is the same industry and or to family to move, it just opens so many doors with, so are you from Charlotte? Are you from Charlotte as well? It just opens all the doors to wherever they want to take it to in a comfortable measure. That's something everybody's comfortable with speaking on where they're from.
Yeah, that is great. That is great. One of the things I tell people to avoid is the weather or the traffic. I mean, those are just boring, right? Like the
Mhm.
weather and the traffic. Don't say, "Oh, the weather's kind of bad today," or how long did it take you to get here today?" Like those are just boring. But
Right, right.
I do like that. Yeah. So Charlotte is kind of a melting pot. And so generally speaking, most people are not from here. You are correct. I'm from Colorado. Where are you from?
There you go. I'm from Atlanta by way of Germany.
Okay. Okay. Well, there you go. So it just, yeah, you're right. It opens up a whole conversation around that. And then you can eventually get back to business.
That's right. That's right. It all.
Mhm.
I feel like the fact that we're all showing up, we all know we want business, so that can go unspoken most times, and I love that. It's just my approach. I'd much rather get to know you anyway because it doesn't matter what business you do or handle if you're not someone whose interest or integrity don't align with what I'm doing, and that doesn't mean that I'm the end all say all, but I certainly want a common denominator if we're going to be servicing clients together.
Yeah. I mean, we are at a business networking event, not a football game.
That's right.
So eventually the conversation will head back that direction, no matter how it starts.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us today. It's been a really real pleasure.
Oh man, I enjoyed this so much. This was awesome. I appreciate you. This was great.
Great.
Thanks for tuning into this episode of the Network Build Grow podcast. If you enjoyed today's conversation, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with a fellow entrepreneur or professional. And of course, if you're not yet part of our community, visit networkbuildgrow.com to connect with us. Until next time, keep building and keep growing.